Hi, I'm Rachel Hansen, a licensed clinical therapist in Nevada, and I serve people online as well in Colorado and New Jersey. And I really was just thinking about this concept of what we consider abuse. And a lot of the time, when people come to me for trauma therapy, they are aware that they've got some sort of an abuse in their past history, whether it's some sort of an assault or something emotional, but they know it's abuse. They know that there was something kind of committed against them. And it's created these thought loops and changed the way that they see the world, and they need help resetting that. And sometimes what people don't realize is just how hurtful and painful and just the same kind of impact that neglect can have. So neglect is often very much overlooked, and it's really important that people take a moment to think about how neglect may have impacted their lives when we're seeing these kinds of symptoms, right? When you're seeing distrust, when you're seeing difficulty forming relationships with people, even getting angry and not knowing where it's coming from. Neglect has a lot of the same symptoms as physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. But neglect is painful in a whole different way. It's a whole different variety of pain. So if somebody punches you in the face, that hurts a lot. But you have something actually physical. You have a mark on your face, right? You have the pain of your face. You know where that came from. And if you're a child and you're asking your parent for help, or you're talking to your parent and they're ignoring you, or they're just not there, right? That kind of creates this vacuum, and there's nowhere to kind of put that pain. And as a child, we don't understand that the pain we're feeling is the absence of something. On top of that, physical pain, while it hurts, reminds you that you're there. You matter in a way. It's kind of twisted to say that. But if somebody is actually assaulting you and abusing you, then at least you're noticed. If somebody's being neglected, there's this added pain of, I'm not even worthy enough to abuse. I'm not even worthy enough to notice. I don't even matter enough for you to even notice me, to be angry with me. And that can be a very deep, deep pain that people don't quite know how to process, because they don't quite know that it's there, really. So I don't like to compare traumas. I don't think it does anyone any good to kind of, have a pissing contest over which trauma is greater than the other, because trauma is very personal. And you and I could go through the exact same car accident and we could have completely different feelings about it based off of our personalities, other things that happened to us growing up. So even in the same family, you can have people go through the exact same traumas, right? The same abusive parents, the same neglectful parents, and they react differently. So it doesn't do any good to compare traumas. I'm not here to do that. I just want to point out that sometimes neglect gets overlooked as a traumatic experience, as a traumatic situation, because we think about the big things. We think about, the assaults and all these things that are in the news. And neglect, quite frankly, gets neglected. It gets overlooked. And it's kind of like the middle child of abuse. And so I feel like that's something important to say. And I was thinking about it today, and I just wanted to pop on and put that out there, that if you are having a lot of these symptoms of abuse and you're kind of thinking, but I really wasn't abused, there's nothing that I'm aware of, it's possible that neglect has actually kind of written some of those narratives for you. And narratives from neglect, they sound a lot like, I don't matter, I'm invisible, no one cares anyway, like, what does it matter? What am I doing all this for? Neglect is also, I don't have value. And these are negative narratives that you tell yourself that we can rewrite with therapy. And that is like the really good news about all of this, is we can rewrite these negative narratives to positive, more adaptive, and very true to you narratives. I do not believe in gaslighting clients. I don't believe in telling you, something positive just to counteract the negative. Through the process of EMDR, I'm not just telling you something positive. You are reprocessing your own brain with your own thoughts and your own images. You get to reprocess the negative. You get to go from I'm not good enough to I am capable. I am good enough. I do have value. I have worth. The process is really amazing. And if you talk to anyone who's gone through EMDR, they will tell you that it's an amazing process. So if you are interested in EMDR, if you want to rewrite those negative narratives to something more positive, more adaptive, that will help you see the world through a different lens, then reach out to me, schedule a free consultation, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about how I can help you. And if I can't help you, if it's outside of my scope, if you live in a state that I'm not licensed in, I will help you find a referral. So reach out today. Thanks.